The next topic here on stage at the Productronica 2021 is competitive advantage from investments in 2022. So what to invest in next year? I'm welcoming here Josè Cicciò from Essegi Automation.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Essegi is the booth right next to us, and the first thing that I have seen is that you're claiming something like lack of components, we can help. So honestly speaking, the first thing that I was thinking is that's a very big word to say.
Yes.
So I was thinking, what is it that you can help with?
Yes, obviously Essegi Automation is not a components manufacturer company, but we can help a lot actually. We think that tracing components is extremely important. Knowing in advance what you need to manufacture your products is extremely important in order to run your production. So we're able to provide traceability. We're able to provide accurate information of what you have available in your warehouse in order to know ahead in advance how to organize your purchase department and how to manage your schedule of production. Actually, this year we are introducing a software module which is called the buffer module. This software module allows the company to get rid of any obstacles in the scheduling of production, because we take all the work orders, let's say for the next 7, 15, 20 days, and we run an analysis every 4 hours. This analysis is automatically calling material either from the main warehouse, or if it's lacking in the company, it's calling this material from to the ERP. So the ERP can provide can manage the orders of material in advance. So we think that by giving control of the stock to the companies, we're helping them in this period of time where lack of material is creating issues in scheduling the production. Yes.
That's a very interesting thing. To be honest, the first thought that came to my mind was, okay, maybe they are referring to humidity control or something like this on the shop floor. Is this also something that is adding to this?
Yes, yes, because we are tracking very accurately the floor life of components, and because we are keeping the environment inside our storages below 5%, MSD components life it's longer. If you're treating them well, life it's longer, and in this way we're also helping during this period of lack of materials, of components. Yes.
You already mentioned that your solution is connectable to ERP systems, and yeah. So from that point of view, how can I say? I forgot what I was going to ask. I'll ask a different question, which is the percentage actually of companies who are investing in such kind of solutions. I mean, we are talking about intelligent storage solutions. How big is this percentage across Europe, you would say?
In my experience, I think it's below 10%. There is a lot of room for growth in this market. I see that the market is more and more working to get automated solutions for the management of components, more and more, but still we are at below 10% for sure, absolutely. We think that providing a storage is not the way to help companies think of this kind of solutions. Since 2016, we have organized inside our company a department which is dedicated only to interfacing. So we interface to ERPs of all brands that you find in the market. We connect to the pick and place lines machines, to MES software, This is extremely important when we bring our solution to the customers. We want this to be integrated, and that's where the company finds the most benefit, and that's where the company becomes really efficient. I think that many companies are still hesitating to buy this kind of solutions because companies offering these solutions, sometimes they do not offer the full package, or they do not accompany the customer through the process of integration of these solutions. Yes.
So basically, it is providing competitive advantage from my perspective.
Absolutely, yes. This is our main goal, to accompany the customer through the process of improving the processes inside the company. So this is not a product, it's a complete project, a solution.
And I'm thinking that a lot of things are actually interchangeable, so probably solutions do not vary so much in the market when it comes to pick and places and so on. I mean, there are of course advantages in every system, but this is something, when I understand it correctly, since there are only like 10% so far who have invested in such kind of solutions, where you can really squeeze out something that is making a difference compared to competitors, let's say.
Yes. Well, our flexibility and modularity, and I would say also scalability, is our strength today. We can provide 360 degrees. We can take care of the material which is left outside on the shelves, like the PCVs, even the screws, cables, etc. We manage the JEDEC trays. We manage the real 7 inches, 15 millimeters, 15 inches, sorry. So we're managing all the material. Since this year, we're also managing the baking through the software, soldering paste. So we're enlarging our, let's say, the help we can give in this kind of companies.
Actually, it is much broader than saying storage solutions, right?
Yes.
When I hear you speaking about it, I can see that you're really going very deep into all the shop floor operations, you can say.
Yes, and we are very much into the production side. I mean that we are helping the SMT line run 100% of the time. Line stoppage is very expensive. Our goal is to limit this to 0, at least for what concerns lack of material. And we can achieve that. We achieve that every time that we integrate with the pick and place line, every time that we connect to the ERP, every time that we have control over the supermarket area or the buffer area. Companies knows exactly what is there stored. They know much ahead in advance, days in advance, if a component is missing for that specific production.
And I have learned that actually Essegi does come from that business, right?
Oh yes, you say right. Essegi System Service was the original name. It was born many years ago, 1997, as a small EMS prototyping. Initially, actually was a spare part reseller, and then we started to manufacture prototyping. The company grew to a certain point. 2005, they developed technology to store its own components, software and hardware. It was very successful in Essegi System Service, so they offered this solution to the Italian market. The Italian market was excited about this solution. Many companies started to implement this solution. So we went to Productronica in 2009. That's where we found that there was a lot of interest in the world to our solution. But we were still a small company. We started to grow our business until 2013, when we met JUKI. JUKI was, they saw the opportunity, obviously. They saw the goodness of the product, the goodness of the company Essegi System Service. So we started to collaborate together, and in 2016 we actually started to manufacture machines also in Japan. So we have a production site in Italy and one in Japan. In 2019, the EMS side of the company, so the initial company, demerged into 2 companies. Essegi System Service is still doing EMS, Essegi Automation is now 49% owned by JUKI and 51% by the original owners. Yes.
And I think this is being reflected in the products themselves. So you have always had, you know, exactly what the market needed, and you have further developed it.
Yes.
Which is bringing you now to the point where storage solutions is probably not the right term to say what you are doing.
Yes, exactly. I think that that has been our greatest strength and advantage, knowing, because we were living those problems in production, we were able to solve those problems for ourselves and to give that solution also to the market. And then when we started to talk with and interact with companies bigger than us, with the 10 lines, 4 lines, 15 lines, 20 lines, 40 lines, 70 SMT lines, our product started to modify and being able to serve such kind of companies. So what I can say is that throughout these years we have developed a solution that it's that can start from a very small company, one-line company. So we can serve very well that kind of company, and we can reach companies like the biggest EMS companies you can think in the world today, with the 40, 50 SMT lines, with the autonomous material manager, with the anything which you have seen today. I mean, you can see today in the show here.
You have mentioned it already. There is the integratability, there is the scalability as well. So, for example, you could just start with incoming material station, where you already have some advantage, and you can go all the way along, like you explained.
Yes.
Is there anything that I forgot to, mention about Essegi?
Well, no, I mean, there are many things we can say about our products and solution. Normally we do online demos, and during one online demo will last at least 2.5 hours if we want to go through all the things we're offering. So obviously in this interview we cannot go through all the advantages, but I think we have mentioned the most important things of Essegi Automation that can be summarized in flexibility, modularity, scalability, and project management, which I think is the most important point where we are focused today. Being able to accompany our customers through the project management, it means that we provide everything. Obviously, we need the support of the customer, but we are there to help the customer integrate our solution. Yeah.
Yeah, there you mentioned a very important point. Actually, we have seen this year at JUKI as well. We are distributing Essegi solutions, of course, since we are also partly owner. And we have seen this, that here at JUKI with our with our project management, we are helping to solve a lot of issues that can arise in advance, because we also have the expertise. And of course, I mean, such a storage solution, those big machines, you can say, they are of course a little bit bulky. So when you deliver them, for example, there are a lot of things to consider, but once they are there, they are really beneficial.
Yes. When you have equal products, the difference is made by the service, right? We're not there today, but one day probably will be equal products. We want to be different from other companies because we provide a good service.
Yes, but I think from Essegi products, you don't need to say you're not equal or something, because you are ahead of the rest of the market. I have been looking into it a little bit myself. I am not from the SMT business industry, but I have learned a little bit about it, and what I was totally impressed with was the approach that Essegi took with the trays.
Yes.
And I understood that there's a big advantage using the trays, right?
Yeah, we are the only company using a tray. And I remember many years ago, it was something that our competitors were using to say, well, they're using a case. It's not a good thing because you need to handle a case. Actually, the case gives us huge advantages. I would say the first one is that we are not touching the components. And when you touch the component with a robotic hand, it's risky. You may ruin the components. This is one of the points. But also, when reels are returning from the production line, the shape of the reel is surely changed. It's not anymore like the one that came from the supplier. Because of that, you need more tolerance inside the machine when you manage directly the reel, and you could go into error inside the machine when you manage directly the reel. Because of that, we're managing a case. This case never changed the shape, the consistency. Because of that, the error machine is 0 in our systems, so we can constantly feed the lines. This is very important. On top of this, we can store on our trays not only reels, we can store JEDEC trays or anything, actually anything that fits inside a case. We have some applications in the world that I will mention now for the first time. Is a jewelry company. So there is a jewelry company somewhere in the world which is using our system to store diamonds. So you can store actually anything inside our storage. And this is our major advantage by using the case.
Absolutely, and I have also learned that the trays are flexible in height, right?
Yes, this is another important point. Normally, a problem that companies have in this market is that the format of the reels changes, 7, 16, 24. So when you buy a storage, you need to define the configuration inside. With any system in the market, you need to buy the configuration before. You need to tell the supplier, give me this configuration with this many positions, 8 millimeters, this many 16, etc. Normally, it's a shelf system. In the worst case, you cannot move it. You cannot change it after. In the best case, you can change it, but you need to empty the whole warehouse. You need to open the warehouse. Open, get inside, move the shelving, close the warehouse again. Then you need to remap the software, recalibrate, and then you can load back the material. This is any solution in the market today. Essegi is completely different. The configuration of the machine is based on the height of the case. So if I want to change the configuration of the machine, I do not need to do any hardware change inside, nor any change in the software configuration. I will just change the height of the case by adding a plastic shim on the side. I can go up from 8 millimeters to 88 millimeters, and after that it's done. The machine will recognize the height of the new case and find the best location inside the storage. So
that's the intelligence.
Yes,
cool.
This is why it's called Ultraflex. It's very flexible. Yes.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes.
And I hear my timer is getting off, so we are actually 15 minutes. But there is one more question I wanted to ask, which is, how about integrating other, like manual material storage solutions? I mean, some companies still do have the shelves where they just have to go and really, hand labor.
Yes.
So if you have this in place, or maybe other solutions, how do you integrate with that?
Thank you for the question. It's closing the loop on our solutions. Through our software, we can manage shelves in an intelligent way. We can guide the operator through sound and visual aids on where is the material and how to pick it. Also, we can connect, and we have connected to major brands in the market for carousel systems, Cardex, Modula, or similar systems. We are connected, we can connect and share information in terms of material information, location of the material, and even run extraction queues of those warehouses. So we are fully integrated also in this way.
Which sounds to me like it's also helping with not so experienced workers, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is a solution. I like to say to customers that I can go to their company and prepare a kit without knowing what they are going to manufacture and without knowing where material is located. I will be guided by the software, and I will be able to prepare a kit. And normally, if we have 3 or 4 exit points, a kit of 100 to 130 reels, it's ready in 10 minutes. So it's quite amazing compared to manual job, which will take hours.
Absolutely. Well, I think this was a very interesting insight, and of course Essegi is right next to our booth, and you can have a look at, you know, exactly the things that we were just talking about. I'm thanking you very much for your time, José.
Thank you, Claudia, for inviting me. Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to welcoming you back on stage tomorrow.
Thank you.